Alright, hello everyone, and today I have this 1998, I believe, Chrysler CD cassette stereo. The condition of this radio is overall very nice. Get down below here, you can see it still has little pegs on it yet. It's not cracked anywhere on the faceplate. It's got some scuffs, but I mean, that's normal. This almost looks like it's broke. It's not, it's angled that way. But yeah. Now, one thing, if you ever had a Chrysler radio, you'll notice it's missing the little black felt that goes in between here. That is really the only thing, but they disintegrate in all of these radios. So, nothing unusual there. Overall, you can see it's got a little, some scuffs here and there, but that's going to happen over time. But I put a lot of time and effort in this radio. Whenever I first got this radio out of the old 98 Dodge Caravan at a junkyard, of course, yeah, I tested it real quick with a battery pack I brought. It turned on, faceplate illuminated. I tested the radio and the test car. I took it to, because the Caravan didn't have a key. I took it to a test car, which was like a old Chrysler Sebring, or maybe a Concorde. Either way, it had the key. So I just unplugged its stereo, because it's probably like a 2003 or something. Actually, I don't think they made Concords then, so it was probably a Sebring. Anyway, I tested it. Actually, I think it was Stratus. I don't know. Sebring or Stratus? Why is Sebring? Anyway, the test car doesn't matter. It worked. I tested it in the car. It turned on. Faceplate illuminated. There was a CD in the floor, I think, actually. I tested the CD player. At first, it did not play a CD. I put the CD back in, and then it played. I mean, it skipped a bit, and I was like, well, it probably just needs the laser cleaned up. Down here, the tape deck. Tested it at home. The tape deck didn't do anything. So, I mean, it did. I mean, it would take tape in. You could hear it, spin a bit and just kick it back out. It would start to hit the auto reverse thing. It's over here. Anyway, auto reverse would like kick up and down or whatever. It was switching back and forth because the belt was snapped. But yeah, when I first got it, this was quite nasty. Not beat up, obviously. Here it is. It's pretty good, but it was all nasty and gross and had the grease and crap on it too. But yeah, it would play the CD. It wasn't exactly great. This didn't work. And then later on I noticed this was glowing, like when I turned the headlights. These are glowing fine. Glowing. Faceplate would dim down. Everything would work, except I noticed 2 and 3, which is LED, or there's a little light like in between there, and 4 and 5 is a light between there. Nothing. It was super dim. I noticed up here, I just didn't really think about like all the lights being illuminated. It was dim down here as well, and dim up there. I mean, I didn't really think too much about it. I knew lights were probably I figured it was just touchy connection, but apparently they were burned out. So I took my parts radio. Not that, that's a different project. But if you look over here, I got some old junk radios. That one up there is like an old 88 or something, Chrysler stereo. This is the junk one. It's all burned up. It's another CD cassette unit. Same thing, except it's not the screw-on faceplate. This is the type with the little tabs that like kind of bend to secure it. You can see I took out like half the bulbs. Yes, this thing was complete. I got it. All the bulbs were in there. But I had to use several of them just to get that radio working. And the biggest pain in the freaking butt. Oh, wow. It's different on this one. The bulb. The bulb kind of curved up in there. Looks like you can actually replace it there. But anyway, that's pretty much the point already. That already makes me jealous. I'm like, this design is already worse. And yet that light bulb is nicer. That figures. But anyway, the biggest pain in the butt after replacing those bulbs and, unplugging the radio, plugging it back in, unplugging the radio, plugging it back in about 4 or 5 times. More than that, actually, probably 6 or 7. Because I put in, so 2 of the bulbs were just bad, apparently. But the rest of them I put in there worked. And also, I did shake them around, like, before I even did that. And even the bulbs I put in after, I shook them around and moved them up and down and made sure the contact pads were making good contact. They would not glow. So obviously they're out. But the filaments on these things just don't look like they're out. So maybe I'm missing something, but I mean, they're obviously out or something's wrong in the bulb there. Maybe a wire failed down below that connects to the bulb. I don't know. But anyway, they were apparently bad, so I swapped them out with about like 6 or 7 of them from that other radio there. And the biggest pain in the butt, which I already got to, this one. Are you freaking serious? Like, out of all the bulbs that had to be burned out, the freaking cassette bulb had to be burned out. And then at that point, you go, bro, you fixed the CD player. You got it all cleaned up. You cleaned the laser. It works just fine. You cleaned up the tape deck. You put in a new belt. It works fine. And the good news is it's lower access, so that's why I didn't have to tear into it to get up to that bulb before. I wouldn't even have had access, but I didn't test the bulbs before either. Anyway, like, out of all the bulbs that could have burned out of all of them, why are you, just why? Why the freaking cassette bulb? Yeah, obviously the faceplate was off. I had pulled out the board. I literally when I took the radio apart, I had to tear this thing like halfway down. And then, like, I had to take off the top shell, take off the lower, not shell, it's more of a casing, but I took off these metal plates. I had to take off this heat sink to get one of the plugs undone, and as well as put it back in. I believe this is the tuner card. I had to take that off. All those things. Great. On top of that, I destroyed my finger. My goodness. It went right under the dang nail. Back here. It's all bruised up and it hurts right now even. That's great. Anyway. I just took the little antenna piece back there, that little, almost like a die cast, and I like bent the board up a bit. I didn't bend it, I mean a little, I had to flex it. But I had to flex the board up. I took a screwdriver, or I took my fingers, turned the dang top of the bulb. Yeah, because it's down lower. I took the cassette deck lower out. But anyway, yeah, I turned it, got it broken free. I had to carefully wiggle it out, put a new one in. And when I started getting the new one in, I got it up there and it was like kind of lining up and huge pain in the butt. But it broke. I broke the bulb. At first I was like, something broke. And I looked down, like, please don't say something broke on the board. Nothing looked broken on the board, and I realized it snapped the tab on the bulb. I put it up there, I twisted it, I was like, good enough. I'm like, no, that's not good enough. That's not gonna work. The bulb was already out previously, but I'm like, the one side's broken. It's not gonna pin itself up to make good contact on like the negative terminal. So no, I swapped it out, got that replaced. Now it works great. So that's awesome. The tape deck illuminates now. All the lights on the faceplate illuminate now. CD player works perfectly. The cassette deck works perfectly. These actually glow now after like moving around like 5 million times. I got the contacts all cleaned up in there and they work great. This works just fine. The radio itself has no rust on it. Absolutely amazing. And I don't know why. Why are these things worth so much? At the same time, I can understand, and that's because, you know, it's a Chrysler radio. You don't have to worry about wiring in anything weird. Chrysler stereos actually sound pretty dang good. I'm not gonna lie. In fact, I would lie about that. They do sound good. The General Motors radios and the Fords and all that stuff, I don't know. I think the GMs are decent. I don't know about Fords. The reliability of the stereo is probably nicer. I don't know. I'd have to say they probably were, though, because I know that the Chryslers had quite a few issues around this era. Obviously. But we picked up a couple radios before, and they were junk, which is obviously why they're over there, and they're my parts radios. I've been parting them out, fixing up these radios. Thankfully, though, they've been lending parts to a couple other radios, too. But this is the only one that truly cleaned up, didn't have any gear issues on the CD player or any of that crap. Because that one had gear issues, too, and then the board just gave out. So, or something went wrong, because the clock wouldn't illuminate or anything, and then it would do nothing. So, that was great. But yeah. Absolutely amazing. And I'm just saying, that's the unfortunate part about all this. Like, some of them have broken gears, or, you know, they're starting to crack on the top there. This one still has perfect gears in it yet. Usually always on these, at least from what I've seen, because I've torn down quite a few of these already. The belts are always snapped. And this is the nicer version of the stereo, because I'm pretty sure there were a couple versions. Well, obviously, at least two, from what I know of. That one over there, I said, it doesn't have like an access point at the bottom, and it doesn't have as nice of a faceplate, which this one, again, just screws in down below, instead of those pins that you have to bend. Like everything else in that radio, you have to bend, or it is annoying ribbons instead of just the plugs that stick up, and you just push the board down, it pops right into those little pegs or posts, whatever you want to call them, that, you know, they're just metal little posts that stick up, instead of a nasty ribbon cable, which you can easily tear. So this is the nicer design. But anyway, I don't know. It's just, I've had quite a few issues with these radios, and this one is just, man. I think I'm just going to have to end up selling it, because it's way too nice. I put a lot of time and effort. I have about 2.5 hours of my time put in this radio. Lots of teardowns, lots of cleanups. I scrubbed it down too, because again, it was fairly gross. I mean, not down here. I gave it a good wipe, but yeah, I did clean it up. So altogether, if you want to consider the price of this radio, I actually got a deal on that one for like 10 bucks somewhere. This was actually at the junkyard, but I got a deal for like 10 bucks or something like that, because the issues or whatever. Family-owned junkyard. But that one I paid 25 for. And this one here on the top, sold 88 Chrysler. I actually found that at a garage sale for a sticker for 5 bucks. And it already didn't look that good, at least when I was looking at it. I'm just saying, it was caked on with like the type of dust you see from an attic. And the thing even just had that smell. I can't describe it. It's kind of weird to say that, but you know, you can just tell by the look of it and everything. It was sitting in an attic or some hot area, kind of like a garage maybe, for years and years. Because I'm like, they did not have any cars in that era. They had some nice recent cars. I believe they actually did have a Dodge, like a Dodge Journey or something. I don't really remember though. I just remember they did not have a car from the '88. For all I know, it could have been out of an old Dodge Ram Charger, maybe a Dakota. Which this is the same radio. It's my grandmother's '89 Dodge Dakota. This one here doesn't do anything. Like, you plug it in, I mean, well, the faceplate will illuminate a little bit. It has like a few little digits that'll kind of appear, but they're not even legible. They're just a few little digits will just light up randomly. And you turn the knob to turn it on, nothing. And turn it back off, sometimes it'll kind of flicker and come back on there, and it'll barely be glowing in those weird random spots again. And it's, again, not legible or anything. It's just the radio's kind of there. It's just junk. It's got a lot of problems. I don't know how to fix it. It'd be great to know. I might actually dig into it and try to repair this one day. I'll have to get a new tape belt. Another thing I do not like, this thing's all stressed and bent. On top of that, it's got a few solder joints actually look good, but it's got some nasty crud on top of it, like some like heavy grease, it almost looks like too. I don't know. Anyway, it's a good parts radio. At least for now. I may get back to it and work on it, but that's why I didn't take the lights or anything. I also figured they're probably just a wrong generation anyway. They probably glow green or something. These are kind of a bluish green. And this is the same gen stereo too, so I pulled them out of there, the bulbs. This is different, again, wrong generation, so I just left it be. And also, yeah, because that one I planned to fix, and this one was the worst, so I parted it out. Anyway, this one here, this is what I got the tape belt out of. So if I ever need to get a tape belt, I'll have to buy one, I guess. But I only paid $1 for the radio. This one here I paid $10, so that's $11 on top of a $25 radio, plus my 2.5 hours of manual labor put into it, which honestly I kind of enjoyed, except for that lovely mess there. Doesn't look that bad, but it sure does hurt. I really bruised on the top of the, right around here where the nail kind of connects. I don't know what to call that. But anyway, yeah, so you got your $25, and you got your $10 radio. So of course that's $35, and you got $36 because of the dollar radio. So it's about $36. A lot of time, a lot of effort. But it was kind of fun. Also frustrating. But you just got to be careful and nice and slow, and you get this as a result. Nice, clean radio. And again, this has 0 issues. I'm probably jinxing it right now, but hey, man, it is sweet. I'm not kidding. It sounds good. It looks really good. It's not broken. Nowhere is it broken. The faceplate's really nice. I'm just probably going to end up dropping it right after the video anyway. It'd probably slip out of my hand. But yeah, I fixed the CD player, cleaned up that. I cleaned up the head for the tape deck. Also, yeah, I put the belt in there, which is a much more durable belt from that 88 era. I don't know the whole era. I just know it was like 88, 89 range for that stereo, but I just know the belts were much stronger in that time. Anyway, yeah, this one's absolutely great. I might end up keeping it. I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.